So Bob, as you know, I've been talking to coaches, consultants, and leaders who are practitioners of this generative leadership work in the world and asking them what works, what is meaningful for them, what practices are they taking with them into their work every day. And one of the people I talked to was Steve, who's in the US, who
Mhm.
told me the story of being called in to work with a team that was in breakdown.
Mm.
And through a series of generative conversations, what Steve reports back is that this moment of breakdown for this team actually opened the door to new ways of that team making decisions and actually new ways of working together that were even more satisfying for everyone.
Right.
In addition to leading to exponential growth for the company. So I'm wondering if you can take us a little bit deeper into this idea of breakdowns and breakdown specifically through the lens of this generative look at the world. What do you see?
Yeah, this is an example, uh, Stella. This is something we work with as one of our fundamental perspectives in generative leadership. And we use the word breakdown, and we have to be careful because a lot of what we do in our leadership conversation is we use everyday words, but they have a rigorous special meaning. And a breakdown for most people is, oh, it's broke, fix it. Or, oh, it's broke, then, you know, that world is over, like it's broke. So we'll just get resigned or run away or whatever. And uh, what we have learned in this generative uh, deep dive into what is it to be human, what is action, what's the phenomena that we want to become aware of in a new way. Breakdown is actually a word we have for a moment of interruption in the flow of life. And you notice when I say it that way, it's not good or bad. You know, getting promoted could be a breakdown. Getting fired could be a breakdown. Having a child could be a breakdown.
Interesting.
Winning the lottery could be a breakdown. Breaking up with a loved one could be a breakdown. But it's a powerful perspective when you zoom out instead of just having an automatic reaction, you know, good, bad, or whatever. Um, we say, the way I was seeing what was going on has been interrupted. I have a chance to take a look at it in a new way. And there's two parts of that move that we learned to do. One is, what was the drift I was in? What were the commitments I was already automatically acting out from? And given this breakdown, am I still committed to those commitments? And if I am, how do I take care of them? How do I take care of the people who are involved in this breakdown so that we can recover those commitments? But the second version that goes to uh, what Steve was talking about is you begin to have different questions like, well, why did I have this breakdown? And is going back to the old way really what we want to do here? Maybe there's an opportunity to look from new eyes, to actually have a conversation about what can we learn from this? What could we invent from this? What is this teaching us? And that's when people begin to say, well, I don't want to go back to the old way. I want to make something better. I want to make something different. And that's uh, that's part of this fundamental muscle of a generative, what we would call a generative perspective, of being awake not only to the situation and how to respond to it, but how to be awake to ourselves and how we are structured to respond. And to have an open question, what if I responded from a point of view of design rather than reaction? Rather looking at what's possible rather than what's my automatic answer here. And when we do that, breakdowns are an opportunity. Learning, for innovation. Um, and the last thing I'll say about breakdowns, sometimes, given the word, people are in the mood of, well, I don't want any breakdowns. Not me, not my life. I hope I never have any. And yet, life is breakdowns. No matter what, you're going to have breakdowns. You can't avoid them. So we want to have a relationship with breakdown to begin to see the opportunity they have. And the final act of power around the game of breakdowns is sometimes we want to create them. Sometimes we want to be noticing that we're in a drift that isn't working, or we're resigned, or we're missing opportunity. Like, this is not just about hanging out where I'm comfortable. We need to open up the future in a new way. So I'm declaring a breakdown. Even though it might all be good, I'm saying I'm declaring a breakdown. I'm opening the space to look with new eyes and have new conversations, because one of our principles that we've learned in our decades of work is all our actions and all our results come from conversations. Do you want different results? You got to change the conversation. So let's start there and see what we can create. So thank you for the question. Great.
Thank you for the electrification
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks.
experiencing and the passion. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Great.